Men always do this for the first time.
Try again.
I looked at the 40-year-old man in front of me, and I knew it was the first time. Then I heard a rapid tapping sound from downstairs. It seems that his younger brother can't wait any longer. Seeing that he was about to leave, I quickly hugged him and begged him bitterly, "Can I only be with you?" He didn't say anything, but went downstairs to change his younger brother because I don't belong to just one person today. There's nothing I can do. It's because their family is too poor, so the two brothers pooled some money to rent me as their wife.
Go up there.
This is a local custom. If you don't have money to marry a wife, you can spend money to rent someone else's wife for a few months to continue the family line. Once the child is born and the matter is settled, you can send me back. Over time, the name Twisted Flower Girl came into being because the man in my family was sick, and there was also a child waiting to be captured who had no choice but to become a Twisted Flower Girl. The person who pulled the strings in the middle is called Nuzik. On the way here, I curiously asked Nuzik to inquire about the other party's situation.
Chopsticks plus meat. It's two bachelors.
When I heard the tenant was two brothers, I wasn't happy. I asked if I could switch to another place.
Two men serving your sister. You really are a fool.
This kind of luck is clearly not what I want, but what can I do? Here I am, sent to the Liu brothers' house. When Liu Er was paying off Niu Zi, Shen Niao from our village came over with his sickle, looking furious. He was here to fight for me.
It's my money first. Why did you bring him here?
The money was yours first.
But this book deal was theirs first.
What's going on, guys?
The money was paid by me first. Now that this woman has entered our home, she is part of the family. Move aside.
It was Lu Da's appearance that helped resolve this awkward situation. From the look of it, Lu Da is a reasonable and honest man. To ensure fairness, both brothers used a sand clock as a timing tool. As the eldest son in the house, he soon came inside. Although 40 years old, his nervousness at being married for the first time was evident. He gently lifted the veil. Then he knelt down and calmly helped me take off my shoes. This honest and naive man had no idea how to manage time. Liu Er downstairs kept staring at the sand clock. I guess Lu Da was so nervous that even before they started, it ended. At the moment the sand ran out, Liu Er immediately reminded them that time was up. I didn't like Liu Er, so I wanted to keep Lu Da. When I made my request, Lu Da hesitated. But the knocking sound from below told him not to be so selfish and consider the bond between brothers. He chose to go downstairs to switch shifts instead. I don't know what to do when Liu Er comes back upstairs. At that moment, a centipede appeared on my table, giving me an idea. Soon after, Liu Er rushed in. To prevent Liu Er from succeed, I pretended to get bitten by the centipede.
I can handle it. You sit over here. Not enough.
Vic!
When Liu Er was catching centipedes, I took the opportunity to call up Lu Da loudly. Lu Da is really considerate. He actually used his mouth to help me drink blood. Liu Er saw this and looked very displeased.
Watch out for getting poisoned.
After saying that, he walked away angrily. Since coming to the Liu family's house, people in the village have always been mocking me. Which one of the aunts is better? Can I come feed your mother? Born with a mother but raised without one. Because Liu Er never succeeded, his eyes were always glued to me like a piece of glue on my skin. He would always sneak over when Lu Da wasn't around. Lu Da could tell I didn't want it, so...
What's wrong, bro?
It's late. We should go.
At that moment, I called out to Lu Da. Then I went to the stove and got him 2 roasted sweet potatoes. I did this on purpose, hoping Liu Er would understand my feelings. He no longer forced me, but this gradually created a distance between Liu Er and his brother. Over time, he became more dissatisfied. He must be thinking, it was clearly the two of us who pulled the money together, so why can't he touch it? This makes him particularly angry. At night, I was taking a shower when I suddenly heard some noise outside. In a panic, I quickly put on my clothes, although I wasn't sure, is it Liu Er, but I was very nervous. Sure enough, Liu Er broke in. He wanted to force his way in. Luckily Lu Da suddenly came back and stopped him.
Don't make things difficult for women.
Now Liu Er is even more angry. Because Lu Da always protects me, he feels it's unfair to himself. That day, all the men in the village went up the mountain to chop wood. I wasn't idle either. I specifically went up the mountain to pick some black goji berries to nourish Lu Da's health. At this moment, I felt like some bugs were crawling onto my clothes. Seeing no one around, I took off my coat and shivered, but Genevieve suddenly appeared. Let me help you with that. Thanks to Luer for coming in time to help me out. After this incident, I have a better impression of him. But I still can't accept serving 2 men at the same time. That day I heard that Luda is going to Texas tomorrow and will be away for a while. I was very afraid of being alone with Luer, so I decided to take my luggage and go find Luda. I discussed with him and wanted to go with him. If I get pregnant with Luda's child on the way and make money, I can give Luer a better wife. However, the scene between the two of us on the boat happened to be seen by Lu too, who angrily fired a shot into the sky. I knew this was a warning. And in order not to hurt our brotherly feelings, Luda resolutely left on his own without taking me with him. So the first day Luer and I were alone together began. I knew what he was thinking because there were only the 2 of us left at home. He wanted to take this opportunity to get me drunk, so that things would naturally work out, but I quietly poured all the alcohol away, and in the end, he got completely drunk himself, watching him collapse. I finally breathed a sigh of relief. I had made it through the night, but on the other hand, Luda encountered misfortune while making up. The storm, combined with the turbulent river, caused the raft to be washed away by the river. I also disappeared into the river. I cried by the river every day when I heard the news. I can't accept the reality that Luda is gone just like that. My heart is dead, and it's even more impossible for me to live with Luer. So I wanted to ask Neozyke to leave here. I still have a man and a son at home, but he refused me.
If you don't have any goods in your stomach, there's no reason to stay and still want a refund. I want to play early, but I end up going home early. That's the right way.
Neozyke's statement has put me in a dilemma again. I have no choice at all. I had no choice but to agree. To be able to have a baby and get the money to go home as soon as possible, I had to agree to complete the task with Luer first. And just when Luer thought this time he would finally achieve his wish, my period really came on. Yes, it was indeed very unlucky. Luer was furious, feeling that he was being targeted by fate, but he still managed to hold back, thinking that if he treated me well a bit more, this matter would eventually succeed. But who could have imagined that the next morning, Luda actually returned? Seeing that Luda was alive, I immediately jumped into his arms and cried out all the grievances of these days. That night, Luda shared his experience of narrowly escaping death. It turned out he was saved by the Red Army. There, he learned many advanced ideas and realized the backwardness and drawbacks of the tradition of winding flowers. He decided to give me some money.
He wanted me to go home and live a good life. However, Luer couldn't understand why his brother did such a thing. The day before, they had an argument over it. And then something unexpected happened.
The soldiers in the village knew about Luda's connection with the Red Army and also knew that I had recently saved a Red Army soldier. They wanted to capture both of us, so they started fighting each other. To protect me, Luer risked his life by leading the soldiers away, but after running only a short distance, he was shot. Seeing Luer fall to the ground at that moment, I felt immense pain.
I still want to give you a son.
Having a child with Luer can only wait until our next lives. In the end, Luda decided to join the army. However, on the way back home, he met my third uncle. Only then did I learn that a few days earlier, my husband died due to illness. My chubby husband, whom I missed day and night, also died of famine. I have no home to return to, so Luda let me go back to his house and wait for him. Decades passed, and Luda never came back. Later, it was said that Luda became a great hero, killing 7 enemies before he died.